Trend lines still work in 2024. That is what we're going to be tackling on today's video, because if you check any of my videos that I've posted, I must have at least 10 people asking that same question, because there was a video I made which was a simple trend line video, and that video went viral because people could use that simple trend line strategy to make a lot of money in forex trading. So this is 2024, and is the trend line trading strategy still working? If yes, how do you go about it? Because the forex market is very dynamic, and something which was working in 2023 might not be working in 2024. So I'm going to be taking you guys from A to Z on all the nuggets you need to know when it comes to trading with trend line profitably, coming up right now. Before we go into the video, I remember about 4 or 5 days ago, I had an argument with one of my team members on a particular trade which I took. So when I took that particular trade, I'm going to be sharing my screen very soon to show you guys the trade I'm talking about. So when I took that particular trade, it was actually a sell trade on Great Britain Pound USD. This team member came to my office, saw me on a sell trade, and then there was a particular buy reversal setup that was very clear, but I was still very strict on my position. I was still very adamant to change on my position. So he said, no, I can already see a clear reversal signal. Why are you still holding on to this particular position? And I told the person I'm using trend line trading strategy, and a trend line trading strategy, and after about 2 or 3 days after this trade has been closed, because I was trading on a 4-hour time frame, I'll show you the reason why I don't want to close this trade. Not that I was saying he was wrong, or I was wrong, or he was right and I was right, or he was right and I was wrong. No, when it comes to trading, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It's either you learn or you earn. All right. But at the end of the day, that trade went in my way, and I made almost about, I'm going to be sharing my screen very soon to show you guys, I made almost about 300 pips from that particular trade. You can see on the screenshot, and that was because I was using my trend line trading strategy, and I was using the modifications that are working in 2024. So let me just quickly share my screen and I'll show you guys what I did. All right. If you can come here on my screen, you can see this is my live account. I have my Robot Petrex Pro installed. You can see that's the default live account. And this the currency pair we're talking about here is Great Britain Pound USD. So what happened? Remember, this is the trend. I got into this trade somewhere here. Let me just put this arrow somewhere here. If we actually turn on the history, you would have seen it plotted from here to here, because I got out there. Even though the market went down, after that again it continued going down for almost about 100 pips, but I was already out of the trade. I already made almost about 300 pips, and I was fine. I was out of the trade. I was like, I'm not greedy, I'm grateful for what I've already made. All right. So I got into this trade somewhere here because I was using this trend line. If you have to extrapolate and go behind, you will see this trend line has been long. The bearish trend on Great Britain Pound USD has been very long, right? So I was using this trend simple because I have many strategies and I don't confuse one strategy with another. If I'm using my trend line trading strategy, I'm using the rules according to my trend line trading strategy. So I got into this trade somewhere here according to my trend line trading strategy, because I was waiting for the market to do what? To hit this lower trend line. You can see that is the exact point where we exited. Behold, what happened? The market pushed down to about, from here to here, this should be almost about 120 pips. And when the market pushed down for about 120 pips, I remember that was the opening of the London session, and we used to have manufacturing PMI. If you're someone who trades fundamentals, you'll be able to understand. So we had manufacturing PMI, and it pushed the market somewhere here. So I understand this was just a temporary move in the market. We have like this indecisive, because anytime you have like this kangaroo tail, these are the kind of candles we call an indecisive candle, right? Remember, this is now, we're going into candlesticks anatomy. So this was an indecisive candle, but I was like, okay, even though I'm seeing a reversal signal on this particular trade, I'm not going to do anything, because according to my trend line, this is still a downtrend. I don't try to catch a falling knife. Trying to trade against the trend is trying to catch a falling knife. So I was like, okay, I told myself I'm going to follow my plan. I'm not going to try to catch a falling knife. This is just a trap. And behold, it was a trap. See what happened? The market pushed again, against me, the market pushed against my trend, came back again and formed a typical reversal signal. You can see this reversal signal right here, which was a full engulfing candle. This full engulfing candle combined with this indecisive candle formed a double bottom. You can see we had the first bottom here, the second bottom here. That is a double bottom, which anytime you have a double bottom with a clear signal like this is where someone would have gotten into this trade, you see. So this is where I won't blame. That's why I'm saying I wasn't wrong or my team member wasn't wrong, or I can't say I was the right person and he was the wrong person. No, we all made money. This is what he did. He got into the trade somewhere here. Immediately after this reversal you're seeing, this is where he got into the trade. His stop loss was just somewhere here on around 35 pips or so, about 35 pips. And he was going for a risk to reward of 1:2. Meaning if he was risking 35 pips, he was going for 70 pips. Boom. In less than, can you see, that's 70 pips. 70 pips hit at the exact trend line, at my exact resistance trend line. He was out of the trade. I was still on that trade. Remember, the same point he hit his take profit was the same point I got into that trade. Can you guys see the dynamics, how a trade is able to play out? How you can be able to press buy on your computer, or press sell on my computer, and at the end of the day, we make money on the same currency at the same time. Can you see just the difference in timing, just the difference in target and exit strategy? He got out here, he made his 1:2. Clear, I think he was trading with a $100,000 profit account. His account was already passed because he was over-risking. He was risking almost about 2% per trade. He was already passed. He was already out of the trade. But I was still holding. Why? Because where did I get into the trade again? I got in somewhere here. And where was I planning to get out of the trade? I was planning to get out of the trade at my lower trend line right down here. So the market, you can see this was more like the trend didn't actually hold. The market turned and boom, just started shooting down straight to my take profit. And I was also out with almost about 300 pips. And this was I was actually trading with my private account, because if you guys remember 2023, I was so bent on building my private account. Got almost more than $200,000 strictly on my private account, even though prop firms I got more than $400,000. So this was my private account. I was using a 5 lot size. Then just imagine using a 5 lot size and you make almost about 250 pips. Just multiply, that's $50 times 250, made almost about $12,500 on that one trade alone. Sometimes quality, all right, sometimes quality is better than quantity. Little is very, very important sometimes when it comes to trading. That was all. That was, I think, for that entire week on my private account, that was the only trade I took. That gave me almost about $12,500. So now the question comes in, are trend lines still working in 2024? The big answer is yes, but there are some modifications you need to do. First modification or first tip you need to take is, instead of trying to catch a falling knife, which is trying to catch a reversal, I want you to swim with the flow of the water. What do I mean? Instead of trying to catch the reversals in the market, trade in the direction of the trend. Wait until the market gives you a predominant trend and you only trade in the direction of the trend. Because you can see what my team member did. He was lucky because the prevalent trend was a downtrend, but the reversal signal gave him an uptrend, or showed him that the market has changed to an uptrend, and he got into a buy, and he was lucky to hit his take profit. Just imagine some people used to go in for a risk to reward of 1:3. The market wouldn't have hit his target and he would have lost that trade. So this was just being lucky because he was trading against the prevalent trend. The prevalent trend was a downtrend, but the reversal signal gave him an uptrend and he bought. And what happened? Immediately after that, the market just pushed back, push up, and then push in the original predominant trend, which is a downtrend. This is only going to work. You trying to catch a reversal is only going to work like 30% of the time. Just like 30% of the time. 70% of the time, the market will always go according to the big fish. The market will always go according to where the liquidity is going, according to where the volume is going, according to where the big traders are trading. Remember, us retail traders sometimes we try to mimic what the big traders are doing. Although you can't trade like the big traders, you can't trade like the hedge funds. We're just trying to mimic how they trade. And you can see on your chart, it was a predominantly downtrend, so we shouldn't be trying to buy. So that's the first tip. Instead of trying to catch a falling knife, trade according to the trend. Don't trade against the trend. The trend is always your friend. That term has been there since the creation of Forex trading, and it's always going to be there, still working to today. The trend is your friend. That's why you see, I could hold that trade, and no matter what my team member was saying, I still held my trade, and I came out with $12,500, as you guys can see on the screenshot, and as you guys can also see according to our calculation. So this will happen like about 90% of the times in the market, where you see a particular trend, and then inside that trend, remember, we used to have the micro and the macro, right? You have the micro and the macro trend. So if you can see, I had two lines here. The first line was the resistance and my support. These were my macro, like the biggest resistance and the support. But in between, you will still have the micro, the smaller one, the smaller support and the smaller resistance. That's why you see this black line. So in most cases, some people will use those small micro support and resistance to determine their target or to be able to manage their trade. Because this is what would have happened, right? Let's just say the market pushed down right to my take profit right here. Another thing I would have still done is I'll be able to now do what? Take my stop loss and put right here at my micro resistance. This one becomes my micro resistance. I would have trailed my stop loss, put it right here, and let the market go for another arrow. Can you see this? So I would have used this macro resistance as my trade management level. So my stop loss would have been somewhere here, then I let the trade run again for another arrow. Meaning instead of a risk to reward of 1:2, which I was going, I would have gone for 1:3. For risking $5,000, I would have gotten $15,000. You see, so that's another thing I would have done, and I just keep doing that. As soon as the market push right down here, I just keep trailing my stop using the micro support and resistances until I'm out of the trade. So yes, trend line is still working in 2024, but you need to be very, very careful. And the first most important thing that you need to be careful is trying to catch reversals. The reversals are only going to work like 30% of the time. 90% of the time, that's just going to be what we call a fake out. The market is going to fake you out, trigger your stop loss, and then continue going in the original direction as if nothing has happened. I know that sucks, and that's just because you didn't understand the difference between a predominantly trend and the market faking you out in the name of a reversal. So that's what I got for you guys today. Make sure whatsoever you are doing, you are putting this practice, you are putting these tips into play, and trust me, at the end of the day, we are going to make money. At the end of the day, you're going to be part of those 10,000 people I plan to make profitable in 2024. If you want a detailed strategy or a detailed breakdown on how we do this on a daily basis on live chat, then check out Golub University. You'll be able to see the link below. Golub University is an institution where a Forex accredited institution where I teach people how to trade from A to Z. So check the link below to be able to enroll in Golub University. If you want to use Paytrex Pro, which is the best Forex robot now, which can still do this on your behalf while you're away from your computer, then check the link below to also get Paytrex Pro. My recommended brokers, if you want to get my recommended prop firm as well, just check the link below to also sign up with my recommended prop firm or use my recommended brokers that are actually paying me out. Thank you guys for watching. Check out these videos, which I also showed more live trading, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.